Welcome everyone to another RGL cast. My name is Jared. I'm here with TC Mon, and I bring you guys GlobalClan versus Franzj presents. This is RGL Invite 6's Season 17 Week 3B. And even though we're only 3 weeks in, this might be realistically one of GlobalClan's last chances to keep their playoff dreams alive. Of course, you have a whole regular season ahead of you, but certain wins versus certain teams are pretty much, I'd say, mandatory if you want to have a realistic shot of keeping your fate in your own hands and not in the hands of all the other competitors. And for the side of GlobalClan, their 2-4 record versus very particular teams leads them in dire straits, and a win versus Franzj is definitely something they very desperately need if they want to, have a realistic prospect to still make it into top 4. And if they don't, then, they're going to have to change their priorities maybe just a tad until the stars align once more through other teams playing. Well, Franzj, they've only got 1 loss so far, and so far it looks like they've been on a roll not just in their scrims and their matches, and for them, it's probably just another Monday. But at the end of the day, Sunshine will be the map of choice, and we will see who will be crowned victorious after tonight's TF2 bout.
Yeah, we are going to see, and I 100% agree, this is basically a must-win for GlobalClan because we've said it so many times already, this season of Invite is looking just completely stacked, and we've already seen some really kind of amazing upsets, one of them being from Franzj against Leica G6. GlobalClan are going to need to do something similar tonight if they want a shot at getting into playoffs, because the race for playoffs, you got Freyutech, you got Leica G6, Jiminy, Franzj, Greasy Dot Hogs, Vassell, and then you've got GlobalClan as well, and they have to somehow try and worm their way into all of those top players, those top dogs, and getting a win against Franzj, who is looking pretty good to make a playoff spot, is going to be very, very desirable, almost necessary for them. And I guess we can run down the roster a little bit for GlobalClan because they have changed things from how they started the season. They did have Penny Peniferous on demo. Alex.exe is going to be stepping up, filling in that role for them. And if you haven't seen Alex.exe earlier when we casted GlobalClan a couple weeks ago, or anytime recently, it's because he's been taking kind of a lot of season break. But he's a really great demo. He was on Witness Gaming, I think, originally, and he was kind of like that top 2 demo, because for a while before Logan and before Artist, really, it was either Habib or Alex.exe, and now he's back. He was already a really big factor in the match that we saw for GlobalClan, so if they want to get a win tonight, he is definitely a player to look at.
Yep, he definitely did a lot of, I would say the playmaking probably goes to Grape Juice, but he was like their rock when it comes to damage, which is exactly what you want out of a demo man. If you have your demo man struggling in any sense, shape, or form, it can make things a bit more difficult, but he was holding his own, especially after taking so much time off, which is absolutely amazing. I would definitely say when it comes to playmaking, though, like I said, Grape Juice, straight out of the gate, not even 5 minutes into the doubleheader that we saw the other week with GlobalClan, he was pulling out the moves, and even was definitely doing so in the match they lost as well, so a lot of eyes are going to be on him. But for the side of Franzj Presents, for their roster, it is the classic that you've seen so far this season. Yum Yum and Exile on Scout, Zam and Donovan on Soldier, Sam on Demo, and Lolguy on Medic. Definitely have seen tons of crazy plays and fun unlocks have been utilized so far this match, and I don't think this one's going to be any different.
No, I don't think this is going to be any different because, like you said, when we interviewed them, they just said that's how they play when they got their win against G6. And, they were doing a lot of kind of crazy unlocks and maybe off-kilter strategies. It ended up working out, but they said that wasn't necessarily a direct counter to Leica G6. That's just how they enjoy to play the game. And this is kind of a friend team. Obviously, they want to win every single match that they can, no doubt about it. But because it is a friend team, they might be a little bit more willing to engage with the unusual if it makes them have a little bit of a laugh. And I mean, that's what we all play TF2 for, is to have a good time, whether that's with our friends or our teammates. So very commendable from them.
It helps if the friend team is actually really, really good, too.
That's true. That is always a nice bonus when you're able to just take some wins off of the top 2 teams. But I definitely agree. Donovan, I think, is definitely someone to look forward or look out for. And also Exile. Last season, I think he had an amazing Pocket Scout season, and the games that we've seen from him so far have been similar, and Yum Yum is also a really great flank scout. But we're about to go live here, Jay, so quick before the mid. Actually, no, it's JK. It was a re-exec. That is my bad. But that does mean we do have time to do predictions. What are your predictions for this match?
Predictions. I think that Franzj is looking pretty hot right now. I feel like the only way for GlobalClan to keep themselves alive in this match, on paper, is for them to like accidentally, or maybe even on purpose, like they hard counter Franzj at mid so hard that they're able to like, they don't have to just sack for lol guy to like keep themselves in the game. They can actually like beat them and then take the opposing two or something like that. Like they have to win mids hard to be able to get rounds, which it's going to be really hard for them to do. I feel like they'll be back and forth moments, but I think it'll be a 5-0. Like GlobalClan will put on a show, they'll have their foot in the door, but it takes more than that to actually convert a round, which is obviously the pred, so I'm going to lean 5-0.
I am gonna have to basically agree. Franzj are looking really, really good off of that win from Leica G6, and I mean, we'll have to see if they're going to be able to do a repeat later in the season, but even without that, they're in a strong position, already heading towards playoffs. I think this should be a very good game for them to just say, hey, we are one of the top 4. Everyone below us has got to try and beat us. We're the ones you got to watch out for. So I think maybe not exactly just a straight up 5-0. I'm thinking maybe like a 5-1, maybe a 5-2. I think it is possible that GlobalClan have some rounds in them, but it is going to be tough, and I do agree that it is going to need them to just hard counter Franzj at something like mid, or maybe just mid to last, or just a coast to coast them off of a really great opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. Like, rounds are, all it takes is even one, like, just like strange strategy, like a pocket strategy, and then that can be enough to knit you around as long as you execute perfectly. It's going to be, I think, an uphill battle for them. Franzj have done a pretty good job so far showcasing this season that they are, they're a contender to, I mean, at this point, based off their victory on G6, whether or not it was a fluke or just them being really, really skilled, like, you look at them as a team that, like, maybe they'll make grands, you never know. So at that level, compared to GlobalClan, who so far has showcased, like, they had a near loss to Jiminy, they had a near loss to the Cell. It's like, unless you had like an amazing overhaul with your team, which I get, you did technically change your roster, I guess, but unless there's like a major overhaul and the stars align, the perfect map pick and the perfect matchup, you're gonna be hard pressed to find them like succeeding as much as they would need to take the match away. But we are at a pause. I assume this has to do with like needing to redo the config or whatever or something like that. So the match hasn't. Oh, it's during the game. Okay, so apparently we went live and then they immediately paused. So that has to be a tech. You don't tack after the first mid.
Yes, you don't generally, unless, I guess maybe if things went disastrously wrong, even then, you'd probably just be like, all right, that one was a fluke, let's just go to the next mid and see what happens. Or unless it was something incredibly tilting, but generally you'd maybe only see that if it was like maybe a best of 3, they lost the first match horribly, and then they go into their map pick, and then they lose that mid horribly, and they're like, all right, we really need a reset. But considering this is just a best of 1, whoever wins this map is going to be going home with the victory, and we are going to be going live now for realsies. I think it is time to see if GlobalClan can try and contend with Franzj here on Sunshine. Going to be all eyes right now on the demos as they roll out, and this is one of the rotational mids. Soldiers can go for some pretty aggressive stuff with the double bomb, so it's going to be all eyes to see if they're going to be able to lock in and coordinate Zam and Donovan versus Grape Juice and Alexandros. Alexandros already has the high ground, just going to be spamming down from the enemy team's cafe. Grape Juice getting in very aggressively. Here comes Zam bombing around just to meet back up with his team. He was kind of lurking in his valley. Now going to be dropping down. Alexandros staying in the cafe, might be caught up, but here comes Grape Juice to try and help him out. Died for him is going to be the peel. Alex.exe finds one onto Zam, so a little bit better in terms of player advantage for GlobalClan at the moment. They can just try and play the spam game, but here they come. Everyone on Franzj just bombing forward, rushing in. That's where the pause happened. Hopefully no one got dropped from the server. Yum Yum with the Uber gonna be coming in, does get the force out from the Dinko, and they are gonna be taking this Uber in a lot deeper because it was a lot later of the use. Can Zardy get onto the medic? Lol guy is gonna go down, but Donovan gets the spoon onto Dinko. That's gonna immediately nullify all the medic advantage right there. And so it is going to be GlobalClan winning the mid, but it is not. It has been so scrappy already, Jarrett.
Yeah, there's 2 left alive for the side of each team over in this cafe, but GlobalClan will win. So you want to know what happened there? Did you see that moment where they're on the wrong side of each other's maps, and despite being down a person, Franzj ran across the point like they were going to do something, and then like Exile died, and it was pretty abysmal. Lolguy didn't have Uberbound. They had a 10% ad they saw at the Solemn Vow they wanted to use to kill, I think, and he just didn't have Uberbound. So they find themselves in the situation after the pause, lost a person, unable to actually hold on to the second point, and back to last they go, oh, how this could have been a different scenario with that not being a situation that they had to deal with, but hey, you gotta take the punches as they come, roll with them. As GlobalClan able to take these points off after the execution of the play working out for their own. Grape Juice bombing in, finds on a log. Okay, you can't have an excuse there for not hitting the serve. You didn't. It's not like you didn't have jump bound either. So really unfortunate and great job from the side of GlobalClan. All of them that time is full ad available for them. They're not going immediately. They are biding the time at least a little bit, but now they finally will pop out the Uber, getting onto the sniper, getting in back, let it spawn. The gun is going to die because it is level 1. Jets stickies on top of the point. Zam brought over. Is going to be able to get a kill, but the second soldier coming in. Donovan, lots of damage onto Scratch. Is going to get cleaned up. The stickies aren't quite hitting. They finally are able to cut the scout kills. Both teams are extremely weak, but Dinko, 9 HP, has to leave. No more heals available for GlobalClan. So even though everything was in their favor from the get-go, as soon as this game started, they find themselves running all the way back to mid, probably, completely having to give up 2. And the only thing they have to hold on to is they don't really have that much of a disad to worry about as they try to hold mid.
Yeah, that is the one silver lining for them. They will probably be able to reset on mid, but yeah, a very disastrous start for Franzj on the map, you know, that they've looked pretty good on already in this season, but now they have a chance to slow the game down, try and get their bearings, make sure no more disasters happen. And it seems like they're going to be the ones to try and get aggressive here. They're already kind of prodding through Valley. Here's going to be the bomb coming in from Donovan, just going to be fading away over into his own choke just to draw some eyes. Does allow some players to get in, but they take a lot of damage while doing it. Exile is going to fall. Very aggressive coming in from Alexandros, trying to get onto Sam. Isn't going to really do that much damage. Here comes Grape Juice, also jumping in, finds the combo, takes a lot of damage as well. No one is going to fall as a result, but it does bully everyone on Franzj back onto their second. Soldier bombing in, might be able to get onto the Soldier by Cafe, not going to be able to do so. The Grape Juice is going to go down, trying to get onto Zam. Not going to be able to make it work. So now GlobalClan just going to back up onto mid and anticipate what Franzj do next.
Yeah, Zam was an isolated player, but I don't think everyone else was quite prepared to actually help Grape Juice get that kill. I mean, worst case, it could have been a trade and distraction, but I think it was a bit of a missync there on people's ability to go over to that part of the map. So Grape Juice just finds himself alone with Zam and doesn't win that duel, but I think they were already weak on the side of Franzj and a bit out of sorts in terms of positioning, so they're not going to necessarily send a counter-sack. I mean, they'd want to send Zam, and he's the one that just got jumped, so not going to have that happen. But the ball is still in GlobalClan's court. They are over by the cafe area. Haven't really had anyone deep inside Valley, so I don't think it's going to be a behind play. Most likely bait for Alexandros to bomb in or Grape Juice to bomb in, depending. See if they can get someone close enough to the cafe door to actually lure them in away from the beam and jump on them themselves. Maybe break the beam between the demo and medic and make it a bit easier to go in for that sack play, but no one bites. I think at this level, it's kind of difficult to get people to actually fall for that play, and they're just going to go ahead and rip it, even though he gets the rock onto Sam. He is actually kind of falling for it. Never mind. Did not play as passive near the tail end of things. The start was fine, but GlobalClan, they had to give up 2 soldiers for it, so, you know, it's not that amazing of a play. Donovan is behind, is going to get a nice rock onto Darty, so is unable to chase. Exile going in very deep, barely surviving until the tail end of things, so Scratch is able to collect that frag, but Sam going in. Dinko drops, did not see the person coming in from the side of Cafe, so no Uber available, and Donovan comes back in and kills Alex.exe in the backline as well. Scratch and Darty running forward, trying to take some space on this platform, getting the Captain. Donovan still behind, turning for him. The rocket does not connect. They are giving up the ground though to get that frag as the blue team runs forward back onto the platform. Nice log on, able to take down Scratch. The rest of GlobalClan, the soldiers are in tow, bombing in, trying to get onto Lol Guy. The first soldier misses all of its rockets. Darty trying to come in clutch. The Uber will eventually get popped to kill these remaining players. First Alexandros and Darty going all the way back to spawn, who is going to be a nuisance to kill. Never mind, they've caught him. He double backed. And overall, getting the kills there, you're fine expending the Uber to get 3 kills there. As now mid's completely free with the player advantage, and they're able to secure this point.
Yeah, mid is completely free. Franzj are going to walk in and take that happily. Now, it is going to be a little bit of Uber advantage, however, for GlobalClan, around about 20%. It is maybe doable, but they have to use it so well. They have to execute it absolutely perfectly, and Franzj seems like they want to try and get aggressive before that Uber advantage comes into play. Zam is going to be taken down, however, trying to get through the choke. Donovan, nice rockets onto the soldiers who kind of bombed Sam initially, is going to be able to take down Sam. So it's looking pretty good, however, for a GlobalClan is going to be pushing in kind of through choke here. Both soldiers getting in through Cafe. Grape Juice going in all the way behind. And he just draws eyes, forces everyone from Franzj back. Is going to be cleaned up, but his duty has already been done. He's given his team the midpoint, but they want to try and fight it. And they get dropped again. Does
Dinko not have his Uber bound either? What's happening? No, he definitely used it earlier. That was mostly a joke comment, but he did definitely use it, so don't take me seriously. But that's 2 drops in a row from the side of Dinko.
Absolutely insane stuff right now. Scratch is hiding over in Valley. Might be able to get the pick onto Zam. Zam seemed like he knew, and now Scratch does get... Oh my god, 2 nice rockets from Zam. Immediately shut down Scratch, and this has put Franzj in a pretty good position. They've got all right Uber advantage, and they also have player advantage, so maybe they can try and go for a 2-man before Scratch is up.
Yeah, it'd be kind of hard, though. I mean, it's a hard sell because it's only a scout dead, so there's all the spam is still there. You'd be throwing away an advantage you already have with, just waiting for the Uber, since you have Uber advantage. So they at least spam down the gun. That makes it a bit easier to actually start counter capping and moving on to players afterwards. Make sure it can't get to level 3 and has to get rebuilt all the way to level 1. They find a new location, going in at the top right area. Gun will go down first, trying to shoot some stickies on top of the point to bring soldiers over. First comes Alexandros. Nice flash onto Exile, making sure that he is very healthy, but they lose their element, and Lol Guy dies. But the sacrificial lambs, that is not going to be enough to hold on to this point for the side of GlobalClan, as the point reigns king, and they cap it up. Franzj leading the game 1-0.
Really, really great stuff from Franzj there. It was looking maybe okay for GlobalClan if you ignored the point. They had gotten the 2 kills, I think, onto both Lol Guy and Sam, and those are 2 real big important ones. But, like you said, the point is the name of the game. It is the king, but now Sam going to be jumping around the point onto Grape Juice. Does a lot of damage. Grape Juice going to fall to his death. That's going to be an early player advantage for Franzj, and they just walk across the point. Alex has been caught out. He does find one onto Alex.exe, but that's not going to make for the fact that 3 are down on GlobalClan. Only 1 down for Franzj. Alexandros hiding over in choke, didn't get the read onto Lol Guy. Now jumps back in, is going to be just fading away, and is going to go down to Lol Guy actually, so no luck there. Luckily for them, Dinko was able to stay alive. They are going to be at a little bit of Uber disad, but it's kind of manufactured. It's questionable if Franzj are going to actually go off of it. I doubt it, but they could definitely try and peek and prod in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, it's artificial. It shouldn't exist, really, because he didn't have it because I think he wasn't healing people as he left, but there's no way for Franzj to know that. But Sam, one thing he didn't know was Alex.exe was going to be slow close and just sticky him off, so he is going to be the death there. But Alexandros might be able to find a kill. Zam skillfully jumps away, and they're just attacking their entire team, it looks like. I mean, they get Donovan, but they 3-man. One of those is definitely an accident. Alex.exe did not want to die, and I think Grape Juice is mostly just trying to go for the hero play after Alexandros made so much space, but they give up so much. The gun, it's going to buy time. It's definitely not going to shoot anyone, though. It's Scratch. He wants a solo. That's a very early use, but I mean, considering Dinko has dropped a lot of these Ubers, it kind of makes sense to have a Uber that early, but that just means that this blue Uber, it doesn't get used until now. Alex.exe immediately dead. It's almost a scout solo, but oh, Exile gets dropped. The flash goes onto someone else. They're trying to tear their soldier on top of the point. They got it capped halfway up. 3v3 scenario. They get the medic. No heals available. Darty, red HP. It's just Grape Juice. He gets 2 rockets onto Yum Yum, but that is going to be all she wrote for this round as Franzj presents collect their 2nd round, capturing that point here on Sunshine.
Once again, really great push from Franzj. Yeah, it was a little bit of an early call from Scratch and Dinko, but I mean, you can understand why they wanted to go to it. They were down players. If they could maybe get the better Uber trades there and force everyone on Franzj to just flash a bit more, but unfortunately for them, just the later Uber from Franzj proving a little bit too difficult for them to work with. It was a very admirable attempt that went, I think, a bit closer than it had any right to, but it's still going to be Franzj up 2-0 as we go in onto the third mid. Grape Juice kind of caught out in Cafe. Here's gonna big bomb onto Loga. And the air shot from Alexandros. Absolutely huge. Great stuff from him right there, but that doesn't mean the mid is one. They have to try and keep Dinko alive. Yum on the chase, trying to get on to Dinko. Is going to be able to get the kill with the help of Alexandros, and it's only going to be Scratch left alive. So Alexandros with a beautiful air shot, kind of taking after Grape Juice in that earlier match that we saw, but unfortunately for them, air shots and even med kills don't guarantee a mid win, which is going to go for Franzj.
Yeah, I mean, they got that kill, and they just kind of idled inside their own valley area. They weren't on the wrong half of the map. They, just didn't fully leave when they probably should have expected something like that to happen. They just kind of sat and, just let Dinko get ran at. Granted, Yum being behind would have been a thorn on their side, and he might have died anyway, but he wouldn't have had help from the soldiers if they were beginning to run a bit earlier than that. So a bit of a heat of the moment type of scenario that kind of catches them slipping up after getting that medic kill and nets them on their own too. Good job from the side of Franzj to streamline forward. Your medic dies, you got a gun for theirs, and they are able to succeed at getting that frag. And wiping their team with only a handful of people left alive is enough for them to go ahead and get this point. But they do know they have ad here, but I think they think it's too small to actually use, probably. The distance between the medics was there, but it would only led to, 15 out or something? It's kind of hard. But Sam alone will get bombed. 2 rockets will seal the deal. Alexandros able to get that frag. So that's their sack, even though they didn't really want it to be. And GlobalClan, I mean, definitely, if you were going to counter sack, do it now, because there's no stickies. Alexandros gets air shot. Oh my god, he's gone. Goodbye. The rest of the team running in. They recognize they have space because the doors aren't sticky at all. Grape Juice giving him his life. They get the trade on the exile, though. The force does happen, though. Yum running in and escaping. Darty almost got sauced on by the side of Zam, but he will eventually die, get locked and loaded down by the side of Alex.exe as Donovan running away to heals is fine for now. Yum still in the backline. They're trying to chase him, and they brought heals back to help chase him down. He's a nuisance. He's brought back 3 players. Will finally die, but so much space gained for the side of Franzj to allow them to actually lock down mid while they're waiting for the respawner. They got their 1 scout back now. GlobalClan trying to run back into
Oh my god!
Donovan popped up into the air, will eventually die. Damage on the Alexander is not quite enough to net the frag, and with the side of Franzj not having that much left in the tank, they do indeed have to go ahead and back up.
They are going to have to back up. Really great stuff from GlobalClan there. Like you said, Franzj had the opportunity to set up, but GlobalClan were wise enough to realize they still had player advantage and had the momentum to push right back in. And a nice little air shot onto Donovan didn't hurt either. So now they are going to be in control of the point. And it is going to slow down now, however, because both medics do have Uber. So going to be going into that classic 6v6 Uber on both teams. Stalemate. It's going to be the call for GlobalClan to try and break this, so all eyes presumably on Grape Juice, or maybe Alexandros or Darty, to try and either get behind or get the drop in onto the medic. Speaking of, as Grape Juice bombing in is going to be taken down, kind of getting in through choke while the rest of his team were over in Valley to just draw some eyes now. Franzj, they're going to have Zam come in with the spoon, does a lot of damage, takes down Alex.exe, and that opens up all of these choke points. There's going to be no stickies to block it. Nice pockets out from Alexandros onto Yum. That's going to be a big bomb coming from Donovan. Now it's going to be Franzj losing 3. Zam is going to be caught out as well. Exile might die. It's only going to be Lolgai.
They have bitten off way more than they can chew. I mean, he has the pack to buy time and milk at least a little bit, but he does eventually have to use. And
Scratch taunts.
Yeah, respawners are coming in, but they're not going to be able to find anything there. So really good job from the side of GlobalClan. Even though they lose their demo man, they are still able to make sure that they're able to lock down the chokes. And I think Donovan just going straight in for the Dinko kill was really all or nothing, because no one else is going to be able to help with that. So the fact that he gets some damage but explodes afterwards is kind of seals the deal for them. Sam caught out, probably didn't expect the fight to last that short. And You know, that trade is never beneficial losing your down man for anything. So add for the side of GlobalClan. Good damage onto them from Zam. He will jump away and will be fine. So he does have the HP to block the point when it's time. He's actually going to be able to find some damage on him, jumping in, initiating, bringing some space over. Alex.exe will die to the gun, not realizing it's over behind the barrels in the right-hand spawn from the blue perspective. So overall, a 1-for-1 trade. Demo Man dead again. Good spot for the side of Franzj to be in. They might not even need to necessarily, they don't need their Uber to actually begin to push out. They know there's no sticks. They just have to beware of the back caps. Have some people lingering in lobby, make sure that no one's going to run behind. So far, they're all in front, so that's not going to be a giant threat yet. But they are able to retake the platform, and now their Uber advantage kicks in and will start to dwindle. As we'll probably see them leave one and keep walking. Yep, they're headed over towards the valley area, and as the Uber gets smaller and smaller, this looking like it might be a demo bomb. Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, they are going to be bombing in Sam to just try and catch out any plays that they possibly can, but it's going to be actually everyone on GlobalClan managing to get out to their own same side, so now they can all push in together as a unit, and they're going to do it. Bombing in through Valley, they are going to have a soldier in the backlines that they have to deal with, but Yum Yum might be caught over by Valley, is going to barely be able to get out. Exile just walks in, takes down Scratch, Stardy goes down, no scout at all for GlobalClan. They are going to be able to take down Exile, but Alex goes down, Dinko's super weak, Alexandros also incredibly weak. It's only going to be him with the escape plan out, trying to escape onto the enemy team's second. He's in enemy territory. It's probably going to trade out with the soldier. Actually, is going to be able to get one, stays alive. Lol guy also dead, but no, he's going to go down over in Cafe. He was able to maybe buy his team a little bit more time because they did have control of the point, Jared, so they are going to get the faster spawners.
Yeah, Franzj in the beginning, that was like a very good example of healthy baiting to make sure that, you draw some eyes for your teammates, and then once you've done your job, you kind of back up and let the rest of the team come in, and Yum Yum did just that, trying to stay in while the Uber was happening and back up to Valley, allow people from Choke to get through. And honestly, it looked like it was going to be like a masterclass example of them being able to get through the Choke in that scenario, but Alexandros, I think he's on a 4K now, but it was a 3K in particular for that exact post-Uber moment. Where him collecting those kills means that all the work and the timing and the synchronization coming from Franzj just it ends up not mattering and falls flat from him being able to collect those 3 kills. Not only just from bombing the combo and then living and then winning the 1v1 afterwards, kind of resets things back on the GlobalClan's advantage. I mean, they, at least, for the side of Franzj, still have their Uber, so it is going to be even, and GlobalClan just can't walk over the area right now. They do have to go for a normal sack attempt, and it is going to be a distraction. Grape Juice to bomb in, go for some player that's not going to be themed, but Lol Guy on the floor does have these players buffed, and Grape Juice will not be lucky enough to be able to collect a kill there. So one less spamming class there for the side of GlobalClan as Franzj begin to approach the chokes. Zam is going to be over on the side of Valley, but I don't think he was that healthy. Did not want to go ahead and sack in. It seems like that if Zam isn't healthy enough, Donovan is not taking up the mantle of sacking instead, and it makes sense because he is on banner.
Ooh, all right.
I don't have it on my HUD, so I have to look at the stream, but when I'm seeing it, the stream, he's only like a 4th way there, so it's going to be a bit, but it is going to be a factor, potentially. It just kind of depends on how this next 90 seconds plays out, because if it's a whole lot of nothing, then you're not going to see a banner, you're going to see a reset back to another mid-fight. So ball's in GC's court, they're in Valley, and the bombs are starting to roll out.
The bombs are starting to roll out as they're having a little bit more presence over in Valley. Here comes Grape Juice once again, trying to get in, does a little bit of damage, but not enough to get the pick or the force. Immediately, Yum Yum running in over towards Cafe, just kind of wrapping around, maybe just try to draw some eyes. 60 seconds left, so we are kind of getting closer and closer to a round reset. A soldier might be caught over in Valley. Alexandros with the air shot, and that's going to be the banner gone. Unfortunate for Donovan, all of that hard work building it up is going to be for naught as GlobalClan rotate over into Cafe to try and use this player advantage to their advantage as a bomb comes in from the soldier. Sam is so weak and actually does get out the force from Lol Guy, maybe worried about dropping their demo. Here comes GlobalClan with their own Uber. It is going to be Scratch leading the charge. The Lol Guy so weak, serves over to the shutter door, just being able to stay alive for a little bit, get the kill on the Darty. Actually, Scratch is going to be taking down Donovan as well, and this is looking okay for GlobalClan, but they're so weak at the moment. Lol Guy is also weak. He's going to have to bait his team, but they have the player advantage. They are going to be able to hold it on to second. Question is, do they try and retake mid in these final 5 seconds?
They might try if it looks good enough. I mean, the respawn advantage is favorable for the side of GlobalClan. This is not the easiest for Franzj. They might actually just lose right now if they're not too careful. They do get the one kill into Alexandro. The pop Darty from the side, who is going to be arrowed, so he is fine. And overall, I will say GlobalClan have done a really good job recognizing that there's a disconnect between Sam and Lolguy where they're not always next to each other. So they haven't been bombing Lolguy as much in the stalemates. They've just been going for Sam, and it has been working out. But even though they're able to crack that egg open and use that, like even then, even though Sam didn't die, that was the reason why Lolguy popped first, didn't want to drop his demo. And it made their Uber so much worse, they lost so much ground, and despite that beginning, they still find themselves in this situation where they're using a 15 ad on Franzj to be able to get this kill into Alex. Oh, the stickies just barely keep him alive. So they at least buy a lot of room, but the execution from Franzj is just on point enough to where even though they might have some missyncs, it's working out so far. This Uber from GlobalClan. We're seeing tubers back to back. Okay, no, there are deaths. I was gonna say they're not gonna be able to get anyone here, but they are overall trading a person. Trading two, Zam was down there as well. So overall, a bit better from the side of GlobalClan here when it comes to their Uber. Some leapfrog back and forth though, nonetheless, and with only one player advantage here. I mean, they can try to dry, but they have to kind of win within 8 seconds, otherwise this 5v4 turns into a 6v5, so we'll see what they have in store for us here.
Oh, the bomb comes out onto Dinko. That's going to be huge from Donovan now. As long as Lolguy can stay alive, does surf over into Chokin, should be surrounded by enough of their own players to be able to weather the storm, and it seems like they have. Alexandros, oh, Alex.exe might be caught over, and Valiant is going to be taken down. Yum Yum is going to be traded out, but a scout for a demo, you'll take that any day of the week. Already Donovan was in the enemy team second, but it is just going to rotate out to meet back over the team. Scratch is in behind, however. I don't know if they know. He might be able to get himself into a position to be a nuisance. It's just going to go for the... Oh my god, Donovan!
Where's the taunt for that
cleans
one?
him up. A no taunt out from Donovan.
Oh,
He
it's
is...
the chat line.
Oh,
Okay.
I see. There
It wasn't
you
a
go.
taunt, it was that, yeah.
He's completely locked in, but that is going to give 100% to Franzj as they make their way into lobby and look like they want to push and take a third round.
Yep, got the Uber ready to go. The gun's built up on the right-hand side. They're trying to stamp it down. Alex.exe tried to take damage for the gun so the gun would live, but he just killed himself on accident doing that. The timing was very poor. Sam fighting Darty will be able to lock and load him down. Exile giving him his life. Scratch is going to be able to collect that frag, and Alexandros jumps over to the point, but it is too little too late. And, yeah, I'll give Alex the benefit of the doubt and say that that was an accident. He didn't mean to eat that rocket. He just didn't see it coming. And that's what made him so easy to just get bombed and die there. Because losing your down man is the first thing there in the last hold. That, I mean, you have to screw up very horrendously beyond that point to be able to lose that situation, netting that demo man frag. But another round in Franzj's favor, 3-0 as we head on to our fourth mid.
Fourth mid, Zam is going to be lurking in his team's cafe. It's going to be getting some damage onto Alexandros. Actually, is taking a lot of it, so he's going to have to back up. Is going to go down to Grape Juice, who went in very deep to get that pick. Is going to be traded out as well, but Franzj looking like they have a little bit more control of the point itself. Alexandros going to be taken down after a nice bomb coming in from Donovan, and with that final pick and also Alex.exe being taken down, that's going to allow Franzj to take control of the point. They're immediately walking in onto second. Scratch might be disconnected. It's probably going to be taken down, and he is. That's going to be another very late death, so it's really only going to be Darty up. That means that there's going to be less of a chance for an off class over on last. Franzj putting themselves into a great position to try and at least get the force here.
I'm not gonna lie, it does not look it didn't look like there was very much that GlobalClan could do for that mid. They kind of looked like they just got hard out DM'd. I mean, maybe they could have tried to use the distraction, but that's about it. So overall, the two-man rips out, doesn't really get too much. Alexandros tries to peek out and be able to get a frag underneath and will get cleaned up, but they're still trying to make moves. There are some opportunities for some stuff to happen here from the side of Franzj, but or GlobalClan, they bomb in. They actually lose two. I don't think Scratch intended to die, but either way, the desync there from the side of GlobalClan nets them down too. The only thing they have going for them right now is that they don't know about is there's a spy, so there's less fragging power, but it's not going to mean a whole lot if Dingo just gets stabbed right now. The spy on the move, gets body blocked by Scratch, will eventually die, but it is a distraction for Zam to bomb in, so that is the successful two-man. Probably not the way they expected it to happen, but they'll take it nonetheless as they head up towards the valley area to be able to kite out if GlobalClan pour out here. Which, I mean, they're poking, but are they going to actually commit? They're off their off classes. Sam, once again, disconnect from Lolguy, but the pipe hits. Grape Juice going in. The arrow connects. Does indeed die. They give them a whole lot for it, though. They're still finding this is the correct play, quote unquote, to do to be able to net this frag, but how many resources do you have to give up for it to be worth it anymore? Uberad for the side of Franzj, going through lower, pop through, the point's free. Alex EXE had to jump away, wasn't able to stick to the point. They're cleaning up Alexandros now. They're trying to streamline forward, blocking with the scouts on the side of GlobalClan. So much cap time, but only one death from earlier. Crash is gonna die. Market Garden on Alexandros. Donovan up in the sky, getting some damage onto Dinko. Frags galore as both teams dropping many players. It's looking really scrappy for Franzj. I mean, this is a good opportunity, but it's taken them a bit. Only 2 left alive for the side of GlobalClan is they got to make sure they win now before the 3-second respawns come in, and they are going to stand on the point, collect this 4th round, leading us to a 4-0 game in Franzj's favor.
Yeah, there's been a couple of pushes that GlobalClan have kind of not quite pulled out the bag. You know, they've been looking pretty okay on some of them, but it's just Franzj able to just maybe sometimes out-DM them or just kind of lock in a little bit and clean it up. But this is going to be maybe do or die if you are GlobalClan. He is going to be going for it as a soldier is going to be meeting over by Cafe. He's going to be the bomb coming in from Grapes. He's going to be fading away, actually, and it's looking like it should be GlobalClan with control. He's going to be a late play coming in from Yum Yum, not going to be able to do enough. Alexandros and Grape Juice going in very deep. They take down Sam, so once again, like you said, their marker not being Lol Guy, but instead being the demo. There's going to be Sam hiding over by the choke point. Donovan just rebombs the soldier bomber and is going to be able to get that kill. Stays alive and might be able to help escort the rest of the combo out. Lol Guy should be able to live here. Donovan still hiding over in lower. Might get the kill on the scratch. And he taunts. Does anyone clean him up? Oh my god, okay. They're going to try and refight this here. Maybe?
I mean, they already have all the positioning in the world on the side of GlobalClan. I will say, I mean, a soldier going fast for the purpose of spam is normal. Like for Sunshine, if you just want to try to spam the choke and hit the wall so you like damage with the scouts or whatever, Donovan shouldn't be that low. I don't know if he like had a different secondary other than gunboats or messed up his rollout or what, but the fact that he was that weak kind of hemorrhaged Franzj's heals real hard. No one got buffed at all. It was just arrows and arrows and arrows. And that leads you to not be able to take a whole lot of ground. So realistically, GlobalClan able to take that mid pretty easy for them. As Exile is on Spy, I think Exile's just checking, wanted to see what people are going to respawn as, and they're going to go ahead and have Darty run back to spawn. But Exile didn't even see the swap yet and is already on Sniper. So this is a Sniper v Sniper with both teams, despite the Spy, not knowing, so there is going to be surprise shots involved, and we'll see if those surprise shots are able to connect. But oh, now did he switch just now and swap to Spy again? Okay, I didn't see it. I was looking elsewhere. Well, he does now, so no more surprise shots, and actually doesn't want to counter snipe. Is respecting the sniper main playing sniper, and we'll have to double bomb. Yep, double bomb is the way to solve it. They get the frag, lose 1. They lose 2 though. Is that worth? Is a big question. Now they get the demo man kill. Now that's super worth.
It is going to be super worth. It is still going to be GlobalClan trying to take down the Sentry, but they lose another in Scratch. So this is going to be really dicey for them. They really just have the 2 soldiers. Darty is going to be the respawner. Should be able to get there in time before anyone on Franzj tries to do anything. Exile back up on Spy. Probably just spy checking, but now has gone out of the spawn.
Oh, it's
and
Donovan.
is trying to go for... Oh, we have 2 spies. Okay, sometimes... Actually, no. Okay, Exile has swapped back up onto it. So I thought they were going to go for the double aggressive spy, which you really don't see too often, but instead it is only going to be Donovan, known for his spy. So if you are GlobalClan, you have to keep an eye out. He comes in for the stab. He misses 1. He misses the 2nd, but he's got the pistol doing a lot of damage. Gets the 4th anyways. Oh my god.
Yeah, and Scratch, he's going to go for the same play. The Pyro, though, the Pyro thwarts them, so they overall lose 3 people on both teams. Uberk's in it. They're trying to get the force out of Lol Guy. They will succeed. The gun will take down Alexandros as the skeleton crew of GlobalClan back up to 2. And I think they realized that because the engineer would have to swap off, both teams are waiting for respawners. The respawners aren't that bad for the side of GlobalClan. Yeah, they're just chilling. They know that it's not likely Franzj will push out. Franzj know that it's not really favorable for them. And Dinko should have ad here, but he doesn't. It's actually disad, so I'm kind of curious if GlobalClan is going to like hard build it, be like, oh, we pop first, we'll have ad here, let's go in. I mean, Dinko should know if he was disconnected. Like, oh no, we lost the ad. But I've said that before, and things haven't really worked out that way as I've described it. So we'll see how things go. Scratch is on heavy, so there will be a post-Uber heavy moment. I don't think that's necessarily because they think they have ad, but because there's 45 seconds left, and they have to do a push no matter what. So I don't know if we're really going to see a moment here on whether or not they think they have ad, because they kind of have to go no matter what.
They do have to try and do something as Scratch makes his way over into lower. The Uber is going to come in from top right. They haven't got the force out from low, guys, so that's not a great start. They do take down the sentry gun, but an Uber for sentry gun, not the best. Darty still alive, is going to be taken down now due to bleed damage from the ball. So now it is just going to be Franzj on their last with big Uber advantage. They know about the heavy. Scratches kneeled up, crouched, ready to just maybe get an easy pick onto someone who picks a little bit too far forward, but it's going to be Donovan instead on the sniper, getting a headshot onto outside. You can see Scratch is going to fall over in lobby, and that is going to be the round reset. Still going to be 4-0 in the favor of Franzj. GlobalClan not able to convert on their best opportunity yet.
Yeah, I mean, the scrappiness of it kind of killed some time for them to go for attempts, like with all the, sometimes you try to push out, don't really work it out that way, and it makes it kind of difficult to get your sack number 2 going really quick. Eats the time away, but at least they can try to find a way to win this bid and get back in the previous position, but it's obviously not guaranteed, as Sam, Erida, was weak in the beginning and is actually still getting weak. They are very much focusing the blue dome in right now to try to make it difficult for them to play the game. Scratch is eating a lot of damage as well as the bomb comes through from the side of Alexander, so they find themselves in the corner. Loga sorting away to the opposing valley. Grape Juice will not commit and actually will get scattered down by the side of Yum Yum. Scratch tries to make overway, and they are able to actually get a lot of the Franzj players who found themselves on the wrong half the map in the opposing team's valley. With a 3v5 scenario, they definitely have to probably wait for the Uber or get an easy kill if they can. They get the 1 kill. They're a bit disjointed. Logai, half HP, 30, inside a corner, will get killed. Exile able to get the frag on Alexandros, but they don't have enough HP between the 2 remaining Franzj players to realistically hold on to this fight, as Grape Juice is going to be able to show up, get the kill on the Exile. And overall, GC, I mean, their initiation didn't start out very hot, but it was a distraction they did eventually utilize to collect a bunch of kills in one giant soup of emotion. So they were biding their time, they were patient with it, and it 100% paid off. So hats off to them as they find themselves once again, like I said, back in the previous situation, this time with ad, and we'll see if the stalemate already being broken for them ahead of time leads to different results.
Now, last time they had this opportunity, they weren't able to convert. Now they go in. They should be able to take down the sentry gun. Actually, is going to finally go down. Both soldiers going to be bombing the combo. Taking a lot of damage. They do find one onto Zam. Donovan able to get into the reset. The late game heavy from Yum getting bombed by the GlobalClan soldiers. They take him down, but it's looking a lot better for Franzj instead. Going to be able to bully the rest of the combo of GlobalClan back out. And that's going to be Dinko down outside HC. Oh my god, nice fight. But it's not going to net them the kill. The last one alive is going to be Darty. Might be able to get a pick onto a soldier. No, the soldiers that rotated over to Valley, so it's just going to instead rotate back to their team. And that is going to be another failed last push opportunity for GlobalClan.
And another Scratch Spy. He wasn't able to really do anything the previous time. Maybe this time it'll be easier because the other team will be on the move rather than holding. He is behind them. But Zam just finds him. He tries to settle, just get the soldier kill who's appeared in front of him, and does indeed get that frag. So it might not be the one he expected, but at least he does not die there. The Uber is used for them to try to go ahead and take mid. Alexandros is going to give up his life as well for that. So overall, 1-for-1 trade with a spy behind. I mean, the fact that you know the spy's behind makes things kind of dicey for the side of GlobalClan. Franzj just going ahead and drawing forward, recognizing it's harder to stuff these choke. They able to get a lot of damage onto Grape Juice, who is going to get fragged down, but Donovan will give up his life as well. They're taking so much room, they don't even want the high ground. They're just playing from low ground as Zam comes over to the platform. Dinko is going to get scattered down. XD will get pistol down as well. It's a scout frenzy right now from the side of Franzj as they almost collect another one on a Darty, and here comes the spy. I mean, it comes when it's already over. So really good job from Franzj, recognizing that the dry push was indeed the solution there with the spy in play. And with only 2 left alive, this is looking like it might be game.
It is looking like it might be game. They have so much cap time onto the point, and it will be 5-0 in the favor of Franzj. Exactly what you predicted, and that is what we have seen here tonight. Franzj just overall looking better in the majority of scenarios. And it was, I guess, kind of impressive because, like you said, there were a lot of times where GlobalClan kind of had the upper hand. Props to them for being able to get the upper hand, kind of reading the situation well, but like you said, isolating Sam from Logai, or taking advantage of that, and kind of getting themselves into these pretty good areas. But every time that they were able to do that, Franzj were just able to immediately reverse the scenario, get back on top of things, get things back in control. And so because of that, they have been able to take this 5-0.
Yep, I think Franzj did a really good job showing their capability of salvaging, because even though it was a 5-0, it wasn't exactly perfect. It took the whole 30 minutes and some infinite overtime to net it down, and GlobalClan did have some nice moves, but even when they faced adversity, they're able to flip things around and kind of turn head on over heels and make sure that things worked out in their way, one way or another, even when they're all the way back on their own last. That just kind of had the edge and worked out in their favor overall when it comes to the match. GlobalClan, I mean, they showed promise, like I said. Definitely a lot of high moments, but it's you need a couple things going right for you, all back to back to back, for it to not just be like, oh guys, we took mid from them, now what? You need the stars to align in the order in which all these things work out, and they got close to the point where they had a couple opportunities to break a last or even go in with a full Uber ad, but at the end of the day, the point conversion wasn't there. The magic just didn't happen, and no rounds collected. So it's going to be a bit unfortunate for the side of GlobalClan. I think it's safe to say that their playoff fate is not. I mean, it's always technically in your hand, but it's not as much in their hands now. And Franzj able to collect that win and move on to tougher opponents. As we do have Exile here for interview. Congratulations on your victory, Exile.
Hi, it was a great game. Thanks for having me again for the interviews.
I wanted to ask, as far as I'm aware, I think GlobalClan is a team that you guys don't play that often, if at all. So I was kind of curious, with that in mind, were there any expectations, or how were the expectations for how the match was going to go based on such a small sample size you guys had playing them?
Yeah, like you said, we don't actually play them that much, especially after they made some roster changes. What we had kind of expected was they were going to off-class, definitely Sniper and Spy. We looked for that. We've played with and against these players a long time, so we kind of have a general understanding of how each player plays, so we kind of just use that with our strengths and kind of just push them as hard as we could with our strengths and just kind of won that way. Not too much prep beforehand.
Okay. I wanted to ask. The game was a bit on the slower side. It was a 5-0, but it was it took a full 30 minutes, and you had to fight for it. Was there any deliberance in trying to purposely play a slower game to be able to keep an eye out for what they might be doing, so you could be more attentive and reactive in that way, or was that just kind of how it worked out coincidentally?
Coincidentally, how it kind of went through was we kind of played our game like we did in the pre-match we had, kind of the same speed. As most people kind of tend to be in match setting, people kind of play too fast, go ahead of their team, kind of, struggle with kind of playing together. And that kind of, from my point of view, from the main caller, it was kind of that too, where everyone was kind of just playing too quick. And it kind of left our combo kind of leaving us with a lot of questions like what we're trying to do in game. So I guess the main thing to take away from it is during the match time, kind of keep calm, collective, and not try to do too much by yourself. Or even if it's just a duo gang of two people on the team trying to do too much, just try to slow the pace down when it gets kind of too quick and fast paced like that.
This might not be a question you can answer, but I feel like I have to ask it just in case that you are able to answer it on the off chance. How does Logai play the scrim and it's fine, and then he goes into the match and somehow his Uber is unbound?
Okay, so we don't know what happened there. I don't know how to answer, like you said. What I think might have happened is we manually record our demos, some of us. So maybe when he recorded the demo manually through console, or on-exec some of his binds through auto-exec configs and stuff like that. That's what I'm assuming. It was really unfortunate too, because when we were about to take that Uber before we took a pause because it was broken, I got dropped instantly, which really sucked. And I don't blame Logai. It's just a really bad turn of events through the issues we had. So yeah, it was. We're not really sure how that happened because it's never happened before. Maybe in a few pug scrims and pugs we've played, but never in a scrim. like a real scrimmage match.
Does that throw off the environment at all in the first couple minutes, either from like the crazy insanity of it all, or just like the fact that you just start the match and shit's already going wrong? It's not really your guys' fault, or were you guys able to, just move past it like that?
I think it's better that happened at the beginning of the first round than in the middle of the game when match is closer. If it's just happening on a mid fight, let's just pretend we like lost the mid, right? And it's fine. Even through that problem, we actually ended up somehow having a decent fight during that after the pause, like when the Ubers actually happened. So I'm not really sure how that worked out, but it was fine as long as it happens before like some like game breaking point, So.
What do you think, TC? Do you have any questions or thoughts?
No, I mean, just obviously congratulations on the win against GlobalClan. I guess I'll steal one of your questions, Jared. Do you have a MVP for this game from your team Exile?
Let's see. I think for MVPs of this match, I guess looking with the both teams, I think Donovan played really well this match, and shout out to Donovan for playing well this game, like he always does. He's pretty consistently just a good player. From the other team, I feel like the general MVPs I would give is mostly like Scratch and Alex.exe. Like those two are pretty good players, and I like seeing them play. Usually, like when I scrim against them, they give the most kind of contention. So yeah, shout out to those two. No, like individual though. I like to just kind of group those two together.
All right. Well, another win collected for you guys, and I'm sure that you guys are pretty happy about your results so far this season, as we are gonna. I guess technically the halfway point is like the first round of week 5, so we're not quite there yet. So there are still a couple more difficult ones that are coming your way, but definitely can't wait to watch them. But I think that's probably gonna be, for the most part, pretty much it. Do you have any final thoughts or shoutouts, Exile, before we move on to closing out the stream?
Same shoutouts usually. Shout out to Dolphin for production, Jared and TC Mano for casting, my teammates. Shout out to Gungan, of course, like always. And I think this season is going to be very, very interesting to watch for sure. It's still like very competitive, and this week we have a couple more matches to play, so hopefully someone streams those. The season is very good. I think compared to the last season I just finished playing, this one's very competitive, and I like that. We might have lost a team. I'm not too sure. I'm not really going to say much, but hopefully we don't lose any teams right now. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But yeah, that's mostly it. Oh, shout out to Darty, by the way. That's why it's my boy. He was in the match. He was on the other team, but I wanted to give him a shout out too.
What about you, TC? Any shout outs?
Yeah, shout outs to all the teams playing tonight. Shout outs, of course, to Franzj for winning. Shout outs to all you guys for watching. Shoutouts to Dolphin for all the amazing production stuff he does. Shoutouts to you, Jared, for being an amazing co-caster. Shoutouts to the RGL merch. Buy it, wear it, show up to LAN, and it's pretty sick, and it's seasonal, so if you like something, get it now. Aside from that, that's going to be it for me.
Yep, thank you to everyone for watching. If you enjoyed what happened today, there is more TF2 action throughout the week. Tomorrow we have, assuming that teams don't reschedule, accidents happen, and then you have to reschedule last moment. There is going to be Franzj versus Cell on Tuesday, and then G6 versus Jiminy on Thursday. I think Wednesday is empty unless a team reschedules there, which, maybe it'll happen. You'll probably learn tomorrow after tomorrow's cast whether or not there's going to be a game there. But there is still a lot of good matches to see, and a lot that have playoff implications. A lot of must-wins for many of the teams as we reach week 3 and go on to week 4. So you definitely do not want to miss it, because it is going to be pretty important. In fact, I would say almost every week is important this season, like Exile was saying. But when it comes to the action displayed tonight, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Jarrett, casting with TC Mono with Dolphin on production. Thank you, and good night.